Well, today we're at Jack Cincinnati Casino, and we're here in regards to Sparrow Stakes, which is this coming Saturday, a mile and an eighth race. And we're privileged to have Mike Battaglia here, who is a nationally known odds maker and announcer, is very well known. So we're really pleased to have you here.
Glad to be here.
And so you just did the odds for the Sparrow Stakes. And what goes into that? What kind of preparation?
Well, you just have to. There's so many things that go into making a line, but you look. Every race is different. This was a hard one because it's so well matched. A lot of times you look and a favorite will just jump out at you. You know he's going to be a short price. That wasn't the case with this race. A 4-1 favorite, that's a really high price for a favorite on Kitten's Cat. And then 5-1 on Parlor and King in His Court. That means it's a very well matched field. And what you do is try to get in the bettors' heads who they're going to bet on.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, some of these horses have won stakes. Kitten's Cat, I think, has 2 stakes wins.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
And so
that's why he's the favorite. Yeah.
Yeah. But there have been a couple other stakes winners in there, and so I would think that does really make it difficult. How about the track itself? I think like Kitten's Cat, all of his races have been on the turf.
Right.
Now, does that affect the way you look at it?
Oh yeah.
Now, does the Polytrack favor the turf horse?
Turf horses usually handle the poly. It's easier going from turf to poly than it is dirt to poly.
Is it?
Because they're more compatible. The turf and the poly, they're more alike. And so a lot of times if a horse runs well on the turf, he'll handle the poly, but not all the time.
Right.
But it did go, you do have to think about it. The horse that's run so well on the poly is King in His Court. He ran on the Polytrack at Woodbine, and he won, so he's a definite contender. He's going to run well again, I think.
Right. And he just came out of a race with McCracken.
Yeah, he ran poorly. Didn't like the dirt. He was overmatched in that one. I just threw that one out. I put a line through it, back to the surface that he likes. He's going to run better.
Right.
Yeah.
Are there any other special situations with any of these horses that you considered? I'm sure there were a lot.
Well, I like a horse called Parlor, a really lightly raced horse. He's only raced 3 times. He's won 2 out of the 3, and he should have won all 3. He got a lot of trouble the race he lost. I think he's a horse that's really moving up. He's going to move up more. He's got to move up more because this is a tougher field. I think he's going to run really, really well. And if he does jump up and win the Spiral, I think he's going to be a good horse. I think he's going to be a good horse no matter what.
Right.
But if he can come into this race with just 3 races and win this race, he's a really good horse.
Right. So let me ask you, this is kind of the prelude to the Bluegrass Stakes. Have you started putting some thoughts together about that?
No, you one at a time.
Well, it seems like a lot of the hopefuls for the Derby have been encountering some issues.
Yeah.
And,
Well, you talked about McCracken. He missed the Tampa Bay Derby after he won the prep for that, and then Classic Empire. He's just had all kind of problems. The 2-year-old champ. So those 2 are the favorites right now, but things can change a lot.
I just noticed that Classic Empire had a 5-furlong workout today that seemed to go pretty good in 101.
Which was good. That's
Yeah.
he's one of those horses. In one of his races, he came out of the gate and just did a right-hand turn and stopped. So he's kind of a head case.
That don't work so
but
good.
he's with Mark Cassey, the trainer, and his son Norm.
Mm-hmm.
Really, really good horseman. Mark Cassey is up for the Hall of Fame, just was nominated to the Hall of Fame. He learned from his dad, Norm, passed it along to Mark's son, Norm. They do a great job. They'll have this. If this horse goes in the Derby, he'll be ready for the Derby.
Yeah. I thought it was interesting to find out that your father actually started this Spiral race. How was he involved in racing at the time?
Oh, my dad was general manager. He was general manager of Latonia when he started it in 1972. Yeah, he was.
So you were kind of raised on this.
Oh yeah, I've been there for every one. I've been working at Turfway since I was 18 years old. So I've been there for, almost 50 years.
I'm sure people ask you this, but I'll throw it at you one more time. Of all the races you've called, does one stick out in your mind that was the most exciting?
There's a couple. The first Derby I ever called were 2 horses called Affirmed and Alydar.
Oh.
And I called that Kentucky Derby. And I also called Bill Shoemaker's last win with Ferdinand.
Oh, really?
And so, yeah, there's so many of them. They're all special, but Affirmed and Alydar is hard to top.
And you also called Pat Day's race with
Lily T.
Lily has
Yeah.
only, of all the wins he had one
One Derby win, yeah.
That's amazing,
Yep.
isn't it? Well, listen, we sure appreciate you doing the interview.
No
and,
problem. Glad to do it.
Thank you.
All right.
Thanks a lot. Appreciate
welcome.
it.